Okay, Zach. Yeah, so I really liked this story. First, before even the stories, I just love your expressions. On page 8, it's like I knew the feeling. The world doesn't stop because you have problems. You're not special. Everyone has shit in their lives, and just like real life shit, you got to learn how to wipe it yourself. Like that's hilarious. That's great. I love that because it's sort of an original way to tell. It's an original way to. I guess it's using traditional like idioms or statements, but in a new, fresh way that still conveys your meaning, and it kind of pops. It definitely popped for me. Page 9 also really cool was it was a shame she was getting slapped in the face by reality at such a young age, but life wouldn't be called a bitch if it was fair. Like that's really good. I like that. I like the dual narrative. I like the 3 years earlier and then the present narrative and then the 2 years earlier and then the present narrative and then the 1 year. Very cool setup. I feel optimistic for Emma, and I don't know if you ever name the protagonist, but I'll just call him the protagonist. I like the it makes me optimistic for the couple, and then love the description of the morgue. First thing is the smell. I mean, you can't wash formaldehyde off, and I love the protagonists. Just, it's a funny story. It's a funny story that does hit on some pretty morbid terms. I mean, first off, he's in a morgue, surrounded by dead people. And then this little girl, her parents are getting divorced, and they're using her as a bargaining chip. And what else? She wants to kill her parents, which is creepy. Another layer of bad shit. And this guy we get the feeling that he's kind of stuck in life. He scours the bar at night. I like that word a lot. Okay, so in page 2, you said scours the bars at night, or scoured the bars at night. I went to work during the day and scoured the bars at night. I thought that was the beginning of, the protagonist being some, like, rapist killer or something, but that didn't end up being true. But scours is a really cool word. It's kind of predatory and creepy. And, man, take your child to work day at a place so glowing, it's hilarious. And there were a couple of misspellings, but I mean, you could just look that over again accidentally and stitch. And a couple times where, okay, so page 3, at the top of page 3, you said, a place that kids are supposed to go. So I think that you would say, comma, a place that kids are supposed to go. Just a couple, you could just read it over again and do that. That's fine. The story is really good. And when she goes into the basement with her bright pink Skechers and the neon green backpack, like, you see this girl, you see her in the morgue, which is so funny, so funny. Her high-pitched voice, an alarm clock for the dead slumber. Just really good description of the girl, of her emotions, of her behavior, of how she looks. And the protagonist is, man, so, 2 years earlier, things are not going that great with M, and that's kind of sad. I mean, your favorite wings, that's not, whatever. You kind of see it deteriorating, and it's kind of sad. But then you go back to, oh my god, yeah, this is great. So my job training did not cover how to handle psychopathic children, only the aftermath of them. That's so funny. That was page 4. And then even in the next paragraph, you have, thank God for children's short attention spans, because she was already telling me about the newest member of the GG Rangers or some shit like that, whatever it was. It was better than her asking me how to kill her parents. That was above my pay grade. Just really funny stuff. Really, really good. Yeah, the dead don't celebrate equality. It's so funny, so funny. So I thought that you backed off on the creepy stuff. So you backed off on the girl being creepy, which maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't. Like she said, we're not going to talk about that today, and that's super unsettling. And then you kind of break that in the next after the flashback. You paint her as a girl that just needs a friend, which is probably true, but it kind of does erase the creepiness of her before. Now she's just a girl that, she was just a little fascinated with dead bodies, but like she's harmless. Maybe it would be a little. I would have preferred to kind of keep the keep her as potentially harmful to her parents or potentially harmful to somebody. I mean, it's great the way you did it, but maybe keeping her as kind of a creepy, violent set piece would be cool. Jim's voice was painted with hate. That's a great sentence. That's on page 6. That he had a vocabulary that even a rapper would blush. That's funny. And then, oh my god, and then when M is getting into OxyContin, I think the flashbacks could be a little more descriptive. Or maybe I like that they're short and impactful and they show like a flashpoint. But I don't know, I felt like there was something a little lacking from them. Not lacking, but I feel like the descriptions could be a little more tasty, a little more like something for me to bite on. Like the one where she talks about OxyContin, the protagonist is like, I know you like to have the occasional joint, but Oxy, Emma, that's where you've been this whole time. You've been high off pills for last year. Like, he sounds like her mom a little bit. Like, he doesn't sound like he's disappointed. He just sounds like he's punishing her and being a little like a TV mom. So I feel like a partner, like a dude that's been with living with this girl for over 2 years, and this stuff their relationship has already been deteriorating. I feel like when he discovers that she's addicted to OxyContin, it would be a little more, I don't know, a little more emotional, a little more, I don't know, you get what I'm trying to say. I guess the flashpoints can be a little more believable. They're really good, and I love that dual narrative, that setup that you have. And then 6 months earlier, damn, that was really good. See, that's really good. The 6 month earlier one, that's really like, oof. He just hangs up on her. Yeah, that one was very good. Like, ooh, that's sad. Yeah. And then he turns around when the little girl says, I know I'm strong, but I'm going to make it through this because friends like you are there for me and pick me up when I'm down, which is awesome. I think that the girl, I think that's above her vocabulary a little bit. Definitely she needs to say something like that to set up your 1 week later, but I feel like that is a little bit of a mouthful for what we've gotten from her earlier. You can keep it. I think I would change it, make it a little shorter, maybe a little more like a 5-year-old. Is she 5? I forget. She's like 5 or around there. And, oh my god. And her snot retreated back into its nasal fortress. That's page 9. Like, so good. You can see it and feel it, and like, it's disgusting. It's really good. Oh, she's 8. Okay, she's 8. But yeah, I think an 8-year-old could say this, but I don't know. I feel make it a little more kiddie, because he could have said this too. Like here it's a little more ambiguous who those words belong to, and I feel like the 8-year-old would use different words, but really good. And then the 1 week later, maybe make it a little, like, that's a great ending. I love that ending. This is a pretty well done short story, I feel. Really funny, and not too funny, because it's, you can't go overboard with the jokes if you're trying to make a serious point at the end. But I think the ending could have been stronger. Definitely keep that he calls her and wants to make up, but I left things on a sour note, but I do want to meet up at Spring Tree later this week for dinner, and come back to the city for a little while. It's good, but I guess make it a little more poignant, a little more emotional, a little more like it hits you. Or maybe this is good. Maybe it's like optimistic, they're dating again or something, but overall, like, great story. Really, really enjoyed it.